Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you guys hear me? Harlequin, do a mic check real quick.
Yeah, mic check, mic check, mic
There
check.
we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the RPG Maker Rarely Typical Player podcast, where we once again bring to you guys existence in memory an RPG Maker game made by somebody in the RPG Maker community. So today we bring to you a game that is different in its genre and gameplay that we normally really don't see designed in the engine, called Lodestar Towers Idle RPG Survival. What a name. What a name. So we wish you guys a happy new year. It is 2024, so this is the first podcast stream of the year. And also, we also want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys enjoy your Christmas and Happy New Year's and Happy Holidays. If you don't celebrate, we just wish you the best either way. So before we get into it, we gotta remind you who we are. I'm your boy D757, Dartman for D757 Gaming, and I have my co-host, the one and only Simple Gaming Harlequin.
What's up, guys? Happy New Year's, everyone.
Alright, so Lodestar Tower. Let me pull up the wonderful video footage, courtesy of Simple Gaming. Lodestar Tower RPG is an idle survivor made by the one and only Isabella Ava, and I believe she goes by other names too, like Masterton 05, I believe, but I know her as Isabella Ava. Alright, so a quick synopsis of the game. Play as one of the adventurers who come to a mysterious tower with the desire to uncover the truth about this place and win the famous treasure. The adventure that awaits you would not be easy. You have to climb to the top of a skyscraper tower. Each floor is filled with fierce monsters. Above all, you must face the mysterious and unwelcoming master of the tower. Try to survive the waves of monsters, summon them into your party, build the best squad, and get ready for the tough battles that lie ahead. Collect rare treasures, rescue the beautiful female prisoner being held captive in the tower. That is the selling point of the game. So, just like always, guys, we're going to talk about the story, we're going to talk about the mapping, and most importantly, we're going to talk about the unique gameplay this game has to offer, which is idle survival. So, I'm going to go ahead and start it off. It's all fair because, this game was on the wheel for a while, and normally Harley can always go first, but I'm going to go first what I think what the game is about. Apparently we are a individual named Tristan who I guess he's coming back from a war. He went to a war and he heard about the tower, I guess. And upon entering the tower, he is inquiring about somebody named Matilda. I don't know who Matilda is. Maybe Matilda is a missing person, but we want to explore the tower, probably look for this person, and we heard about the miraculous treasures that the tower has inside. So upon entering the tower, we asked for permission from this NPC right here, where he told us that in the tower there is lots of rewards, treasures, and monsters, and those who enter the tower will never ever leave the tower. Nobody has dare enter and dare survive and came in because they have become trapped. The tower is full of monsters and hideous objects and traps and whatever. It's a mysterious tower. So upon traversing the tower, you run into different supporting characters who has their own reasons for being in the tower and their own adventure. Maybe they're there for treasures, maybe they're there for to find somebody as well. Maybe they was lured by the mysterious god of the tower to bring them in. The game was really short, didn't really get as much story as you want, in terms of lore, but you did get pretty decent gameplay. So that's what I sum everything up to be. Harlequin, would you like to share your thoughts?
Story wise, I have no idea. Like the game itself didn't really tell you anything, like aside from you looking for somebody, right? And I didn't read the story page and whatnot. I just went into the game. So and as you said, the game is really short, so you're not experiencing any kind of like ending or not even a cliffhanger or anything really. You get nothing. It's just a bunch of things happening. Like you're encountering monsters and the odd character, but story wise, there's nothing here. Like it's just you looking for a person, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's basically it. So
yeah, there isn't any more story in this game, not in this version at least.
So now we're going to talk about the beans, the meat and potatoes of this game. It is a idle RPG. It is 2024, but my personal experience with idle RPGs, I ran into them on the mobile devices, like on my cell phone. Like you go to Google Play Store, or maybe if you got an iPhone, you go to this place called Apple Store. You type in RPGs, but for some reasons, I like to find the turn-based RPGs because I'm an 80s baby. You know what I mean? I was born in the 80s, so during that time, a lot of the RPGs that I played was turn-based. You know what I mean? But now, I would say in the span of 10 years, probably 15 years, there's a new style of RPGs that you will find, in the mobile market, and a lot of those are called idle RPGs. And idle RPGs are kind of what you would call a, what people are looking for. They like idle RPGs because of this. You don't really have to do much playing the game. So before we talk about the mechanics of this game, Harlequin, would you like to? You probably could explain it better than me. What is the true definition of an idle RPG for those who don't know?
Idle games are usually they're time wasters essentially. It's a game that you just keep running, and you're just making progress by just having the game running, right? You're grinding gold automatically. You're watching YouTube, or you're watching a movie, a stream, or whatnot. You're doing your homework. and the game just runs. And every now and again, you click a couple of upgrade buttons, and you're proceeding to the next harder stage until you get stuck again, and you rinse and repeat. You grind for money, you get upgrades, and you go on harder stages. And that's the game. There's no ending, there's no win condition, there's no game over. When you wipe out, you just restart at the last stage you manage to automatically finish, and that's where your party will automatically just keep grinding. That's an idle game. It's a time waste. It's like just scrolling on social media, like just on Twitter, doom scrolling, just keep scrolling. That's essentially the same thing. It's just to keep your mind occupied and waste your time, pretty much.
So idle is kind of like autonomous. Like,
yeah, it's just you sit idly by the game.
Yeah, like
you just watch the game play itself.
You're just standing by. So idle, the definition of idle is just you're on standby, or you're in the position of just standing. Like when a car idles, that means it's just running, it's not moving, you're not doing anything to it. So
exactly, that's the essence of it. You just watch the game play itself, and you upgrade your players from time to time. That's an idle game.
So with an idle RPG, so basically you have a character who automatically do everything that the game. So basically an idle RPG is a RPG where you have maybe a character or more than other character who automatically fight on their own, and as the player, the only thing you're really doing is maintaining their integrity and their strength build by purchasing upgrades at the touch of a button, because your characters are fighting automatically and gaining gold and experience, but you get to the point where they can no longer defeat a wave because you have to upgrade them. But until the cycle repeats again, you get stronger. You could put the phone down, the game will play itself.
Exactly. You just keep earning gold and earning gold. Like the enemies are getting like progressively harder, so by design, of course. Like it's always, you're not supposed to finish the later stages at the first try. It's always designed in a way where you have to grind. So your party dies, and the game automatically puts you on the wave before you died. So the last wave your characters were able to finish, that's where the game puts you. And the game automatically stops progressing. So it just keeps looping the wave you managed to beat the last time. So you earn gold automatically. Even when you're offline, even if you don't have the game running, the game will automatically check the time when you stopped and when you open the game again, and give you the appropriate amount of gold you would have made in that time.
Yeah.
Even when you don't have it open. And then you just click on some upgrade buttons, and now you're strong again. And you click on the auto progress button, and then it keeps repeating. Like it auto progresses through all the stages, next wave, and until you hit a point where your party isn't strong enough again, and then it just keeps grinding that one wave. Rinse and repeat forever.
I played a few share idle games on mobile, so I
mean the first one I've seen which brought me to idle games is like Clicker Heroes.
Not sure.
That's like a really popular one. Like it's even on Steam and it's free. It's a really popular one. It's a really good idle game. played that for a while, and after that, there was a whole slew of idle games that popped out, even on Steam. It's not just on mobile. Steam has it too. All kinds of idle games,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a cool thing. Like you just have it running in the background while you're doing work. Like you
So
can do some game dev, and if you take a breather, you just click on some upgrade buttons in your idle game, and then you go back to work.
yeah. So most idle games that I've seen, I'm not sure the one that you play, do the game like once you get to like a certain level or character level, you can like there's like a rebirth option
Yeah, most of them have them, right?
that you restart over, pretty much a new game plus pretty much until you get like
Yeah, yeah. Idle games have a whole bunch of different systems. Like most of them have a rebirth and a gear system, and Clicker Heroes also had like guild bosses and whatnot. But it all boils down to just keep grinding. The game just runs forever. There's no last wave.
yeah.
You will never see an end boss in an idle game, and you will never see a game over screen in an idle game. That's not what they're for.
All right,
So no matter what you do, it's just all about getting the numbers. Bigger number, bigger number. That's all an idle game is about.
so another thing with idle games, they're surprisingly like hyper speed. That they're really fast because you don't want to play a game, especially an idle game where they go normal speed. So majority of the time they like sped up probably like 300. Well, like 10 times as fast than a normal
It depends on what type. Like there's so many different types of idle games nowadays. It's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
Clicker Heroes just had an enemy on the screen, right? And when you start the game first, you gotta click. Like you're your own character in these idle games most of the time, right? You click to deal damage. So you do click, 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 click. You kill the enemies until you have enough gold to hire your first character, and from there on out, the character automatically deals damage, and the game evolves from like a clicker game to an idle game. Right? You don't need to click anymore because clicking is annoying, right? You gotta be active. You gotta click. That's boring. We don't want to do that in an idle game.
Yeah. Okay. So that sums up the idle game. You pretty much you have little interaction with it.
That's the point of an idle game.
The goal is to, if you want to look, you can look, but you don't have to look. But you could do other stuff. You could pretty much sit your phone down on, let's say you're preparing a meal. You could sit your phone down on a bar or on your kitchen table and cut your onions and your potatoes at the same time, but occasionally looking at your device and seeing the progress of your characters with little interference that you have to do on your part. And the interference I'm talking about is leveling them up, purchasing higher upgrades. That's the only thing you got to do. But the fighting and the movement and the exploring is basically automatically. So
and they make it really easy too. Like many of these idle games have like an upgrade all button and upgrade 1,000 levels at once button. Like every character 1,000 levels, right? The goal of an idle game is to have as little interaction with it as possible.
And another thing, you're pretty much everything is done with gold that you get from killing enemies.
Exactly. You get some gold, sometimes you get some gear items too. But as I said, the goal is to have as little interaction as possible while making sure the player wants to keep coming back to it.
Okay.
So it's always like, you always gotta check like every 10 minutes or so, you go check on the game, click some upgrade button, and then you lay down your phone again. And maybe you watch a movie and an hour later you're gonna check your phone anyway because somebody messaged you, and you go back to the game, click some upgrade buttons again, and then you toss the phone away again.
In majority of idle games, I know that I play on Android. You could play it. It still operates in the background. You don't have to have the screen open. You could like close the application. Well, not close it all the way, but if you could minimize it, and it still will function. It will still carry on.
Yeah, you can even close it completely. Most games.
Yeah.
You can completely close the game.
All right.
It will check the system time or some shit like that, or server time. I don't know how exactly it works, but if you close the game and you come back like a day later, there's this message like, and you made this amount of gold in the time you last logged on, right? The game keeps running even when it's not open.
Yeah, you are right. There was one I played, even when the phone is off. I guess there's some upgrades you buy. It even says like,
it's an entire system. It's not as effective as if you actively played and keep upgrading.
But you get something.
It's just an estimation, right? It's an average amount of gold you get for offline time.
Yeah, and that's
just so you come back. It's all designed so you keep coming back to.
Yeah, and that gives you the feel of idling. You got idle around doing nothing and still gaining progress in the game.
You keep getting these little dopamine hits.
Okay, so that's the goal. So reason why I wanted to bring this out to you guys is because we want to have the understanding of what an idle game is. So this game, Lodestar Tower, idle RPG, Survivor. This is an idle game. It's advertising itself as an idle game.
Yeah, the title is one of the biggest problems I had with the game. Like, it's really misleading because it's neither an idle game nor a survivor game nor an RPG.
What do you mean it's not an idle game?
None of the words that are in the title are true for this game. It's not a survivor game because just because your game has a game over screen, it's not a survivor game. There's no survivor mechanics. There is no food, no drink, nothing, right? There's no stamina or hunger and thirst meters or anything that's a survivor game.
Not all survivor games have a thirst meter and a hunger bar though.
But all do. Which one don't?
Survivor, well, I'm thinking about roguelike. Yeah,
but that's a roguelike, not a survivor game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Like,
I'm a big survivor game fan. Like, I own almost all of the good ones, all of the big ones on Steam I have, right?
Okay.
Like Valheim, Ark, 7 Days to Die, and those are survivor games. It's always like a hunger and thirst meter. Even Valheim has it. Like, they don't have a thirst meter, but you can eat food to increase your maximum health.
Okay.
So even they have it, right? You're not gonna starve. You don't have to eat food, but it's necessary because otherwise you're not having any HP.
Well, let's go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, none of that is in this game. I mean, you're supposed to survive, of course, but that's like every game with an HP bar has that. Like, the goal is to not die, right? So it's not really a survivor game if you go by that, because if an HP meter is all it needs for a survivor game, every game is a survivor game. Pretty much. So like, even Super Mario is now a survivor game because you're not supposed to die.
Yeah, you don't want to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but makes no sense, right? Super Mario is not a survivor game.
Yeah.
And so it's not a survivor game. It's not an idle game because you're constantly active, because the idle part is the shortest part of this game. You're idle for like 2-3 minutes at best, and then you're back at the campfire and being active again.
So
not really idling much.
So it's not a survival. Let me get this straight. From your definition, it's not a survivor because you don't have any survival mechanics like food,
Yeah, you're not
water,
hunting. You're not
crafting,
right.
hunting.
Exactly. That's what
Then
makes a survival game for me.
then it's not an idle game because you have more control of the character and more stuff that you actually have to do
Yeah,
manually.
you're more active than you are idle, right? And the point of an idle game is to be idle, not active.
So what part of the idle did this developer get correct?
None of it. Like the battle system is idle,
Okay.
I guess. But that's about it. You're not battling much though.
Yeah.
Like clearing a floor takes like 2 minutes at best.
Yeah.
And then you're already back at the campfire. So you're not idling. If you lose, you get a game over screen. It's not like your characters automatically just keep grinding money. There's none of that in there. You clear the floor, you back at campfire. Or you die and you reload the game because it's game over.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an idle game. You're more active than you're idle, so it's not an idle game.
So basically, a true idle game, like we said earlier, is you will make progress regardless, unless. Well, let me rephrase that. You will always do an action without having to use the controller, but you won't make the progress unless you actively make your character stronger and upgrade to go to the next.
An idle game, for example, if it was endless, right? If
Okay.
if the game automatically kept fighting,
Okay.
until you decided to progress the floor.
Yeah.
So if the game automatically just kept farming these essences without your input,
Yeah.
always over and over and over again, until you click on the next stage button,
That's what
and
I
then
meant.
it takes you back to the campfire.
Yeah, that's what
to
I meant
improve
to
your
say.
party.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
it would be an idle game.
Yeah.
But it's not like that.
It's not like that.
So it's not an idle game. And it's not really an RPG because we're not getting any story. The only thing that's RPG is like, I guess, the equipment. And that's about it.
You are getting lore though. You know, you did
I mean,
get some type
there's
of
like 3 events that happen. Like you meet the baby monster, you meet the lady and the monster duo thingy, and you meet a character. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and you meet the shop guy, I guess. But
the zombie dude. Well,
exactly, but there's no story in there. It's not like you're making any discoveries about the tower or the person you're looking for. Like we only have the premise.
I think yeah, that's all we get in the demo, but I'm pretty sure the developer is going to like make some more story events, you know, every what is it? It seems like it's every 5 floors you get an event, or every wave you do at the campfire.
Yeah, I guess every floor probably, like the waves are probably the floor, so whenever you finish like this little sequence where it just keeps walking forward, that's probably a floor, I guess, from the looks of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's like there is a little bit of everything in there. Like there is an idea that the combat is automatic, which is like the basis of an idle game. There is the bare bones of a story, which would be the basis of an RPG, and there is no survival mechanics. I don't know where that came from. No idea.
So all in all, this isn't an idle game because idle games don't have game overs.
Yeah.
You die, then if you die at wave 10, at wave 7, you start back at wave 1. But if you can't get past wave 7, it makes sense that you have to upgrade your character once you have enough resources until you can get to wave 8. in wave 9, and normally it goes up to wave 10 until you go to the next area. Then you start from wave 1 all the way to wave 10, and this, so just like you said, it's endless. It's kind of like, you know, okay, this is a random game. If I could get strong, it's like playing Candy Crush. It's endless. You know, you get to the part where, you know, you think you're at the end, but you're not at the end. You know,
the game is just ever bigger numbers.
Yeah, it's just you're fighting mobs of monsters over and over and over again, but you're not getting bored with it because technically you don't have to keep watching.
Exactly. And it doesn't work in this game because the idle part is 2 minutes. Like, it's not even enough time to take a piss. It's not an idle game.
Oh man,
right?
Yeah.
Like, how is this idle? And the combat scene doesn't even tell you anything. Like, they attempt to make it strategic, right? They have this row system, and each of the characters and monsters you summon, they do have skills apparently.
Yeah.
But you don't see anything because nothing moves on the screen. It's just a text log that's way too fast to actually read. The HUD keeps popping in all the time because it's jank. Like, it's really poor eventing too. Like,
what do you mean by
happening?
Poor eventing?
They use the default combat scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just the regular RPG Maker battle screen, but it's supposed to be idle. But you keep seeing the battle HUD popping up between the turns, and that's jank. Like, it's not supposed to happen if you did it right, but it keeps happening. But it shouldn't, because it doesn't need to be there, because it's idle, right? You can't do anything with that information anyway. Right? So it's not supposed to pop up, but it does because it's not evented right. Which is surprising considering who made it.
What and not everybody know.
Isabella Ava is a pretty well-known figure in the RPG Maker scene, right? She's doing plugins and whatnot. She's even on the RTP server. You can hire her for MV plugins. So I'm surprised to see how this is mostly jank eventing instead of just making a plugin that does all that idle shit for you. It's kind of surprising for me to see. I don't know.
What I would have done. I mean, I personally, I would not even know how I would have done this.
I mean, Ifty does it.
Ifty?
His battle system is, Ifty, Night Marina.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the battle HUD popping up. Like, the HP and stuff is always on screen because it's important, but the battle happens pretty automatically.
Oh,
right? There's no attack defense window popping up. Like, it's just turn after turn after turn. Like, just pushing the dodge buttons.
Yeah, he got you know.
And this guy has no clue what the fuck he's doing, and even he can do it, right?
Oh man. So
and then you got an actual JavaScript coder here making this mess. I don't know, man. It's just not impressive to me.
I mean,
the summoning thing, like when you summon these monsters, that UI is super clunky. You can't even if you push the down arrow, the cursor doesn't go down. It just goes to the next number. Like, you have to press 20 times until you hit the fucking OK button. Because it just keeps cycling through all the numbers instead of going up, left, and right.
Yeah. You talking about when you want to allocate how many crystals you want to use?
Exactly.
To summon the monster.
Exactly. How did an actual coder do this? I don't know. It's just super jank. So maybe, I don't know, this is a tech demo at best, in my opinion. Like, it's not fun. It's just a proof of concept. Like, look at this, I can make something that's maybe one day an idle RPG. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's new. Like it's been in the works for a while. Right? Like it's been on the wheel for how long now? And I'm pretty sure the demo existed before that too. So it's not really a new demo, I don't think. Let me look it up. Lodestar Tower. Okay, Steam doesn't show it, of course. What does itch say? So when was this uploaded?
I think
It's June. No, March. March 22nd of March 2023. So it's been, well, not exactly a year, almost a year. This has been in the works for a year, almost. Is this jank? Maybe that's just me, but I'm not impressed. And the screenshots on the Steam page, none of that is in the demo. Like, if you check out the Steam page, you'd think it's a titty game because it has all these busty anime women, but none of that is in the demo. It's completely different.
Yeah, and you think the girl that'd be the MC.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
So
it's
maybe
just a whole bunch of misleading stuff.
Maybe the well, the gatekeeper did say that there's a lot of missing princesses in there. So maybe the girl up, on top on the cover is a princess.
Of course.
Matilda. It could be that Matilda girl.
We don't know.
And you rescuing maybe some of the princes after so many floors. Then you may get a little screenshot of people.
Yeah, I would expect that, but the game doesn't sell it, right? Maybe it's been like that when they first started because the game also looked differently in the screenshots. Right? They used the Akashic stuff, which looked much better than what it is now. To be honest, like it at least had a coherent style. And detailed battles and whatnot. This looks awful. Like you got all these tiny ass battlers on the screen that don't move and don't do anything. Is horrible, and the game's tone doesn't fit. Like if we're supposed to rescue princesses and get like big titty CGs as a reward, the game's tone doesn't fit that anymore.
You ain't
right? It's a grim dark thing now.
Yeah.
So it's not really anything where I would expect to get like waifu pictures as a reward.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they plan on doing, but right now this demo or whatever it is not really impressive.
So,
and I was looking forward to it too because I do like idle games, right? I said that times and times again.
Yeah.
Every time we roll the fucking wheel, I'm like, oh man, Lodestar is out again, and now I'm getting to play it, and this is what they did. It's like super disappointing.
You did express your desires to play it.
Yeah, man, I'm a sucker for idle games, man.
And
I like that shit. Having it run on the second screen while you're watching a movie or doing some game dev and whatnot, and then you just swap over, click some upgrades. It's fun.
And a bit about the developer made some really unique games. You know what I mean? Like they try to go outside of the box and take a chance. Like the first game that the developer had me to play was that Red Riding Hood game. That Little Red
I,
Riding
I
Hood is,
haven't checked any of the other games.
yeah, it was pretty
I
good.
I've seen your stream of it. I think the Red Riding Hood, and I'm all for thinking outside of the box kind of stuff, right? That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for in games anyway. When I'm looking for games, I always look for something that's more or less unique in terms of anything in the game, right? Like I'm not never really looking for like the default formula games. Like for me, a game always has to have something that's unique, that sets it apart from other games. So I'm all for that, but in this demo, the execution is just super poor.
So another point that I want to make is with idle games, there's no game overs, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel to move forward.
Yeah, you cannot lose an idle game.
In
It's
this
just keep grinding until you get to the next stage. You
in
cannot
this
lose.
in this game, there's game overs, and if you don't manage your resources properly, you can be stuck.
Maybe that's the survival part.
Because when I first loaded this game and when I went to the equipment menu, you can't unequip items. You automatically dispose them if you try to unequip them.
Which is hella weird, to be honest.
Which was a feature in their other games too.
It makes no sense though. Like, well, why would you put that in the game?
I don't know.
It doesn't offer anything, right? It's not really. It doesn't give you a strategy, or it's not a fun thing either. Like, why would you put that in the game? Like, unequipping an item automatically destroys it.
Yep.
What purpose could that possibly have?
I have no idea.
Me neither. So it's not a fun mechanic. It's not a strategic mechanic. It's just there for whatever reason, I guess.
So as you go through the doors, you go through different waves. I guess you're climbing the steps, or well, it's a tower, so everything is going up, right? But when you go through the door after the campfire, to initiate the idleness, you are traversing through like a hallway. So it doesn't give the feeling that you're climbing the tower.
Yeah, because you're progressing the floor. You're not climbing. The climbing part is when you reach the end of the floor. That's where you move upwards to the next campfire, I guess. I think the reason why they did it like that is because in RPG Maker, you cannot have like continuous battles, right? You cannot have wave battles. So it's not like you can defeat the first troop and then the second troop just comes in. That's not possible. I guess you can make a plugin for that. I think Visu Stella has something like that for MZ, but this is MV as far as I know. So it's not possible. So the way they did it is they make this ugly ass RPG RTP hallway and make it like that. Like you just move forward and it's a randomized variable whether or not you find something or if it's a battle, because they can't make wave battles happen on the same combat scene, right?
So you're saying,
yeah, the video is repeating because the demo is super short. Like you can beat this in like, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe.
So you're saying that RPG Maker isn't capable of making a true idle RPG.
It's totally capable if you have the plugins for it. But by default,
plugins.
By default, you cannot do it. You can somewhat do it, but there's also this maximum enemy cap, right? So what
Mm-hmm.
you can do is you can spawn an enemy and event it that when this enemy dies, the reinforcements come in, right? Like when you mark an enemy in the editor as appears later, right? That way you can kind of emulate it like a wave. You kill one enemy and the next enemy spawns in quotation marks. But you can only do that for, what's the maximum? I think 8 in MV. Like you can only have 8 enemies in any singular troop. So that's a problem if you want to make bigger battles.
So
But you can make plugins to get around that, of course.
I got,
Everything is possible.
I got another question. So if all your troops die, if I'm thinking this, if you set the battles to can lose,
Mhm.
and if you lose, put a condition on it where it starts you back at the beginning.
Yeah, you can do that. Yes.
It kind of puts you in a loop.
Yep. You can totally do that.
See,
That's possible. But you cannot make multiple waves. Like you cannot win endlessly.
which
It
is
doesn't
fine.
work like that.
Which not if each step is an event and it repeats itself.
Yeah, but you have to end the battle scene at some point.
Yeah.
Right? You can only fight up to maximum of 8 enemies at once in
Yeah.
any given
Yeah.
troop.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to make a wave-like battle system like in idle games, that doesn't quite work by default in RPG Maker because you have this limit. You cannot summon a new troop in the same battle screen. You have to end the battle screen, go back to the map, and start a new battle. So you can bring new enemies in. You can kind of mask it, like you can fade out the screen and then fade it in so the player doesn't see the map. You can kind of mask it with eventing. But as I said, the developer is a literal coder. Like they could have just made a plugin for that and made a real idle game. But they didn't, for whatever reason.
But it's an 8 monster limit per battle, correct?
Yeah, you can emulate, as I said, you can emulate a wave system, right? But you can only put, I think it's 8 enemies in one troop, right? RPG Maker doesn't let you put more enemies on there. So what you can do is like you put one enemy on the screen and you put 7 enemies, you right click them and put them on appear later. And then you event a troop event that when the first enemy dies,
the other
the
enemy
battle
come
doesn't
in.
end. Exactly. So you make enemy 2 appear. So you got wave 2. And you keep repeating that until you hit enemy 8.
So 8.
But at that point, you have to end the battle scene.
8 times.
Unless
I got you.
Yeah, you can loop it around again. You can revive enemy 1.
I mean, in
like
a way, it will work like that because if wave 1 has 8 enemies, right? Wave 1 has 8 enemies. Then you take the next step. Then you get in another battle scene. You know, you gotta fight so many enemies, maybe a random number of enemies, maybe 1 to 8 different battles. Then the next step, you don't get into battle, you may find some armor. Then you step again. Like you can make it work until you get to the end.
that's what they did here, but the goal is to not walk on the map.
But what they did 1 battle per wave.
Yeah, every step is a wave or a battle, or you find an item, either one.
But they didn't.
But usually the goal is different. Like in a real like idle RPG, you don't see a character moving on the map.
Yeah.
It's ugly and it looks jank and
well, it is RPG Maker. I mean, we gotta
You
Give
can
the
do
developer.
whatever you want,
We
of
gotta get a
course, but
developer some slack here. It is RPG Maker, man. It's a lot. It's
hey,
an engine.
but
It's
you
an
said it's
engine.
gonna be commercial though, so it doesn't
Oh,
matter if it's RPG Maker.
reason why I say it's commercial is one, this developer is known for publishing their games as commercial.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter though, like if it's RPG Maker or not. The only thing that matters is if the game is fun or not.
Is it fun?
No, absolutely not.
You didn't think some of the mechanics were good, like
No,
creating your own monsters, your own troops.
no. The idea is cool, but the execution it sucks.
Had some good ideas. That's correct.
Yeah, but ideas are like assholes. Everyone has one.
Oh Lord.
It's like it doesn't matter. An idea on its own isn't worth anything. Like you gotta execute the idea in a good way. Like I like creating my own monsters, but you can't do that here. You can just pick a monster and then you have to sacrifice a bunch of crystals and then you get that monster. Like
Yeah.
you can't customize the skills or the stats of each monster or anything, right? So there's this game that's a little bit similar to Darkest Dungeon. It's called Eratus, Lord of the Dead or something.
Oh my God, that's a long name.
Yeah, and in that game you can create monsters, like all kinds of monsters, like zombies, skeletons, liches and whatnot, all the classic fantasy monsters, right? And the way it works there, you can give them better parts. Like if you gave the skeleton better bones, it would have better stats. Right? There is some skill variety and whatnot and customization. And this game doesn't have that. Like I can just summon a random monster because I don't know any monster in this game. There's no like lexicon I can look up what every monster does. I just have to pick one at random and then I can check it out in battle, but I can't even do that because the icons are so small I don't even know what they mean and I don't know what the skills do. So you just put them anywhere on the fucking grid and then the way to win this demo is just summon the maximum amount of monsters and you're gonna win. Like it doesn't even matter what gear you find, the items don't matter, gold don't matter, nothing matters. Just summon all the monsters you can and you're gonna automatically win.
Okay.
So there's none of that customization. There's not really any of that idle goodness, right? I'm not getting instant gratification or like little dopamine hits because I'm not grinding. Because when I die, I'm game over, so I gotta reload the game, so that's not fun either.
So you telling me that this game should just be called Lodestar Tower?
Yeah. I'm not even sure if it's a tower. Maybe just call it Lodestar, or just call it Load because I didn't see a star either.
Lord, you ain't get to the top of the tower. Let's see the star.
Yeah, I mean it's just a demo, and maybe one day it's gonna be good, but I don't think so. Like this game would need a big ass rework on the whole idle part to make it an idle game.
And I'm gonna talk about my experience with the game because
Yeah,
always
go ahead.
seeing is your experience on the and it seemed like you did a really pretty good job. I do notice even with certain troops, it's luck based in a way because you can miss so many times in a row. You can get criticals. You can get critical by enemies.
Exactly. The loot is random too, as far as I noticed.
The loot is random.
That's why the winning strategy is just have as many bodies on the battlefield as possible, so you have many attacks. So even if one or two missing, you're still gonna win because you have like 8 attacks while the enemy only has like 3. That's why you win.
And I believe the developer is asking for $8 donation, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't check.
So I think
It
this
doesn't
is.
really matter. Like
I,
you can on it, you can
I
put an own amount there,
I
but
think this is going to be the price of the game.
could be, maybe, could be. No, of course, it could be.
So commercial RPG guys.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Starting off. I mean, the idea is good. Like I actually like one. You made it to the treasure room. Like it's a random room, and there's like this boss you beat, and you get
It's
this
not
secret.
random. It's not
Well,
random.
okay, it's not random.
Yeah, yeah. You always encounter that. Like, I think it's the second floor or some shit. Yeah,
Did
yeah. Where you run around with the chest, and then there's this weird boss thing
yeah,
that's I don't think is beatable.
and behind them is like a behind them is like a character, like an
Yeah,
NPC.
yeah. But at that point, you don't have enough units.
Maybe
Like you
that's
just learn the game,
yeah. Maybe
and you
that's a
never encounter this room anymore.
maybe that's one of the princesses. Maybe.
It could be, but the treasure room only happens once
But
on like the second floor where you have no fucking idea what you're doing.
you're not
So you,
intrigued.
why would I be intrigued?
Who could that be?
Why would I care? I have 15 monsters on my screen. I don't care who the fuck that is. Hey, the game doesn't have a story. Hey, I'm just some dude who apparently looks for a person. Like, why would I care? This is an idle game. You don't play idle games for
Well,
a story.
you are from the kingdom of Atoria, so
But who gives a shit?
Matilda could be the princess of Atoria.
But who cares?
The player, maybe.
But why would the player care just because you say, oh, well, this character comes from this imaginary kingdom?
I mean,
Okay, who gives a shit? Right? I don't know why I'm looking for this person, and it doesn't matter. Like, for me, this would be okay because you don't play an idle game for the story. That's not a thing.
Okay.
Right? You don't go play an idle game because the story is amazing. Like, no, that's not happening. Like, idle games are not story games.
Let me ask
They
you:
are idle games.
is there any commercial idle games, or are they all free?
Most of them are free. I think I've seen the odd one out that maybe is paid, but most of them just have microtransactions for like skins or extra content and whatnot.
Okay, it would make
There's
sense that
never
way.
a story. Like it's always like there is a premise. Like it's always the classic thing. Like you're some guy, you're some hero, and there's a big bad evil guy who I don't know destroyed the way time works and whatnot, and so now you gotta rebirth every now and then or some shit like that.
Yeah.
There's a little premise to get the game going, but there's no story. It's not an RPG. It's no story game. That's not why you pick up an idle game. This doesn't make any sense. You pick an idle game because you want to be idle. You just want little dopamine hits from number go big. That's why you play idle games.
Yeah.
So why would they put a story in here and characters and whatnot? I don't know. Nobody cares. Right? Make some cool looking fucking monsters and animate them so I have something nice to look at and have a cool feeling I have all these dope ass fucking monsters on my screen. But that's not what they do in here. They have tiny ass battle sprites that look like nothing. And they don't move, and they don't attack, and there's no animations or anything. Like just like default attack animations, I think happening. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It looks like nothing.
What
It's not fun to look at.
What about the music?
I don't know. I don't remember the music.
I know the battle theme. They use them. She used that same theme in most of her games.
Well,
What you think?
maybe it's
about
just
that?
cash grabs.
It's the next Final Fantasy.
I don't know, man. I'm not against reusing assets. I do that too.
I will play this game.
I don't have many games out yet, but
I will play this game over 1063's game any day.
What's 1063's game again?
The Izakaya Cowboy.
Oh, heck no. I know you lying.
I mean, if you think about it, the idea is good.
No, man, I'll play Night Marina over this.
Night Marina was pretty good.
Exactly. Night Marina is pretty fun. Like, it looks like shit, but this game looks like shit too, so whatever. But this game is not fun.
But Nightmare Arena was so unique, though.
Night Marina is fun. It's a fun gameplay loop. Which is, funnily enough, it's more idle game than this game, if you think about it. Like, you're pushing more buttons in Lodestar Towers than you push in Night Marina. Right? In Night Marina, you're just dodging down, up, and back. In this game, you're navigating a bunch of fucking menus, and the only time when you're not pushing buttons is when you're fighting, and you're fighting for like 2 minutes. And then you're back to pushing buttons.
Yeah, because you gotta equip the new gear that you want.
But it's supposed to be an idle game.
And you gotta create the monsters.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be an idle game.
Yeah.
I was being sold an idle RPG, and all I'm doing is pushing buttons. How does that make any sense?
Did you figure out what the role system actually is, or is it just your standard RPG maker?
I have no fucking idea. I suppose. I think, like, when you look at the skills, they have little icons on them, like really fucking tiny icons.
Yeah.
And I think that's for the row they attack. Like, it's the area of effect from the skills.
Man, I don't know what it is.
But they're so fucking tiny, I have no idea. So all I did, as you can see on the screen, I just summoned some monsters and put them somewhere on the grid.
Man,
and that's how you win the game. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
I have no clue what it is, bro. Like, I said, you know what? Screw it. You know,
and that's the thing that frustrates me. This is not a first-timer RPG. This is made by someone who makes their own fucking plugins, who know how to code, who have released a bunch of fucking games, and this is what they make. A confusing fucking mess that looks like shit.
That's harsh words.
How does that make any sense, man?
That's some harsh words from a...
It is. It is. I mean, the monster designs look cool, but they're not moving.
They don't... they don't have to move. What you think?
They have to move. Like, this game has to do something. Like, either let me idle, which it doesn't, or let me look at cool fucking effects, which it doesn't. So what's this game trying to sell me here?
Andre hit it on the nail. Good coders don't always know good game design. Same as good artists.
Yeah, I keep saying that about artists, but this coder already has a bunch of released games, so I expect them to know.
Check this out, though. That's not necessarily true, because you got a lot of bad games out there, like AAA games that are bad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for me, all AAA games are pretty bad, but yeah.
But
of course not.
In all fairness, yeah, you go to school to know how to design, but that person coming to you for business gives you that idea to design, to what to make. You just know how to build that framework.
How to make it, yeah.
How to make it. But
I can see that.
That person.
I can see that, but also they have a bunch of released games already, so I kind of expect them to have some kind of idea about how to design a fun game.
I mean, if you're a coder that know how to do this stuff, you at least would want to make some games, whether they're good or not.
I mean, you said their other game was good.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I don't know it was with RPG.
So imagine that you're telling me, look, man, this guy's game is pretty good. So I'm gonna go and check out what else they have, and I'm gonna pick up Lodestar Tower.
They're not the best games, but they're unique in design. You know what I mean? They're unique. So if you look at this game try to be unique. But I do agree with you that Idle Survivor do not belong in the title. I agree with that.
It's not delivering on what it's trying to sell me.
Yeah, like we agree. I can agree with that. But all the RPG games that I be playing on my streams, you don't really do or see all the stuff that you do see in this game.
Of course not, because it's boring.
Oh no.
No, like, jokes aside, like, yeah, I get the idea. It's fairly unique, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm the customer. I'm just a player. I'm picking this game up for allegedly $8, and this is what I'm getting.
$8.
So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get a fucking refund.
$8 is a little bit. I do agree. $8 is a little bit steep for playing this demo.
Even if this game was a full version, I'd get a fucking refund because this is weird.
You get frustrated. You can get frustrated, and there's a lot of unexplained mechanics.
It's unexplained. The UI is clunky. It's not nice to look at. It's weirdly zoomed in RTP maps. It's like, and the rest is text and still images. Like, if they made more of a story game, like a grim story, like they did with the baby monster, where they cut it up and whatnot, that would have been cool. But it's not that.
But
like, the battle doesn't reflect that. It's just fucking static sprites doing nothing.
You do know there's missing. You do know there's missing princesses though, and there's treasure that you get find in the tower, which you do see during your playthrough.
I didn't see no treasure.
You got random loot.
Was fucking gear that's worse than what I had when I started, and I didn't even bother equipping any of that. Really, I just auto-equipped it, I think. And that's it.
Come on, bro.
And you just find weapons most of the time.
What was your attention span?
The fat guys only had like teeth or some shit. I don't know.
What was your attention span out of 0 to 10? What was your attention span?
Oh man, like it's on the stream. When I streamed it, you could have seen it. Like when I started skipping, like I went in, like I read the tower guard dialogue. I read the first thing. I read the baby part, and then it was like, okay, and this is the game. All right, skip. Like,
Lord, come on.
You can see it in the footage too. Like it's just not interesting.
I see. You just skipping every freaking thing, man.
Yeah, man. It's like, why is this here? Like I was prepared to play an idle game. Why am I reading all this?
He like blah blah blah.
Yeah, man. It's like, what is this? Why is this here? I don't care. Let me slay some monsters. That's what I came for.
Oh man, come on. But I mean, come on now. For $8, you would have been upset if you couldn't even control anything. So at least the developer made you involved in the game.
Nah, I can understand a little bit of an intro to get the game going, right? Set up a little premise, why all of this is happening. That's fine. Like that's supposed to be there. That's in every idle RPG you can play. They always have a little bit of a premise. Why you are doing all of this, right? Why are you slaying all these monsters? Why are you leveling up? Why are you rebirthing all the time? They explain that bit, and that's it. That's all the story you're getting. That's fine. But they didn't do that here. They introduced that, and every floor there's some fucking event happening. Nobody cares. And then you go fight the 2 minutes of idle game that's in the game, and that's it. And then you're back to the bonfire. And it's not really like a roguelike where it's RNG and I can make builds and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So why can I even summon all these different monsters? Like it's not really customizing anything. Like just summon anything and you win.
Yeah, you just get the random crystals from monsters that you defeat.
Yeah, it makes no sense. That's not how idle games work.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, nothing makes sense. Like they made a mix of a whole bunch of things that just don't work together.
Mm.
I don't
That's
know.
deep. That's deep. That is deep.
I came into this game expecting a real idle game. I'm going into that fucking tower. I'm gonna get gold. I'm gonna unlock new characters like every fifth floor or whatever, which I can then hire with that gold. And I'm gonna upgrade my levels with gold, and that's how an idle game works. And this game has none of that. You cannot grind because you just game over, and then you gotta reload.
Yeah.
And
That's why I said you could be basically stuck
and
if you
it's
like
random loot, like you're getting random crystals, it seems
uh
like, which is more roguelike than idle. Why is that even there? I don't know. And then they have this grid system acting like you gotta strategize, which is not true either. You don't need strategy, just summon anything. Like, as long as you just have the maximum amount of people on the board, you're gonna win this game no matter what. So it's not strategy. Why is this grid system there?
yeah.
Why are these skills there? Like, why is all of this there? That's not how idle games work.
Yeah, and the skills that you can learn, it's impossible.
I don't know how you even get that kind of money.
Yeah. I would at least start it small, like give me this character here, you go through a couple battles, then you know you could learn different skills along the way, like progressing, like upgrading
I
your
can
skills.
only imagine that the system is just not ready. So this is like it's not a real demo. It's like an RPG Maker demo, right? Where they release it as a demo, but it's not really a finished thing, right? It's just the current state of the game. So they made a skill system, but it's not ready yet, probably, right? So they just put a impossible amount of money there, so you can never actually use the skill system because it's not done yet. That's what I would guess. But it's not really a finished demo thing. It's just like, this is what I made so far, and this is what you can test. It doesn't feel like a finished product, right?
Yep.
So that's just my guess. Maybe the skills are not finished yet, because there is no way you cannot grind, right? So the only possible way would be maybe if the treasure room behind the boss had so much money in there that you could buy the first skill. Otherwise, you're never gonna have enough money because the demo is not long enough, and you cannot grind because you're getting a game over. So it's impossible to buy the skills. I don't know, like they have the stuff there. Right, like my demo has the achievements button there, right? The menu is there, but there's no achievements. But I still put it in because why would I not put it in, right? Because the demo is not finished yet. That's how this feels. It's not finished. It's just a concept of ideas, but nothing is really working yet. It's just kind of there. That's how this feels. It's like a bunch of ideas put together, like very bare bones, but nothing feels kind of coherent, and nothing really fits together. That's how this game feels. And if this is what they make as a finished product for $8, I'm gonna get a refund. Of course. Like, this is not fun. Especially not for money.
Not for money.
Nah. Not even free.
Not even free.
Nah.
Lord.
I would not play this game. I'm not playing RTP games, period. If I see a screenshot with RTP maps, I'm not downloading. But aside from that, like, if I started this game for free, I'd still stop very quickly because it's just not fun.
Wow. And that's that's really something right there. Especially, like I said, Padre hit it on the nail, and you're not the only
Yeah,
one. He's not the only one that said that. You said it multiple times,
I
especially about
always say that.
artists,
Like artists have no idea how to make good games. Like I
especially
always
about
say
art.
that.
But I could see this game. I could see this game. You know, a good game. I mean, I could see it if you just gotta
Yeah, but
make it.
you see things. You're like the kid from the Sixth Sense. Like you're seeing dead people that other people cannot see.
'Cause
You're that guy.
if you think about it, if they took the idol and the survive out the game and just made it like in between, you have like different events between floors. You know, get rid of the game over. You know, give us more leeway and make it a game. You know what I mean? Like instead of
Yeah, but
something that's
that's the
random.
thing. Like the amount of stuff you'd have to change and
Yeah,
remake and rework and add
yeah.
and remove is like at that point it's not even the same game anymore.
This
So
game uses AI art.
I don't know.
That's
I,
what
I wouldn't make that claim.
That's what Vanilla said. They looked
I
at
don't
the
know.
Steam
I'm not
page.
claiming any AI
Yeah,
art.
I don't know. I'm not gonna accuse nobody. They're using AI. If they use
Yeah.
it, that's on them.
I don't really care. Like maybe they use AI art and maybe Steam just hasn't detected it. Like they don't allow it, but they can't possibly like investigate every fucking game, right? Especially not when it's some shitty game made with RPG Maker that has like 5 wish lists or whatnot, right? Nobody gonna care about that. Like it would cost Steam more money deleting this game from the Steam page and even finding out about the AI art than it's gonna cost them to just not give a shit.
Oh, I see the claim because the hands
Yeah, it could be,
on
of
this
course.
NPC. Lord have mercy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean we're not
Lord.
gonna start another AI debate here, especially not
Yeah.
here on the stream.
I haven't seen Iron Brew in a while, so
Yeah.
can't.
The problem with AI art is not that it exists. The problem with AI art is how the models are trained currently. It's
Oh
not
wow.
effortless, and that's the only
Why
problem.
we don't have these battlers
What kind of battlers?
on the Steam? I'm
Yeah,
looking at this.
that's the old version. That's Akashic stuff. That's how it used to look, and it looks so much better than what it is now.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
Night and day.
Exactly. It looked so much better before, and now it's just this kind of mess.
He said this. He said this kind of mess. Lord,
Jesus Christ, man.
Lord. All right, all right.
I don't know, man. I'm just not impressed. Like, the game didn't deliver on anything. That's my problem. It didn't deliver on the idle aspect. It didn't deliver on the RPG aspect. It didn't deliver on any survival aspect. Like, the only thing that it delivered on is that it made with RPG Maker, and that's about it.
Look at all these games they got too. She got a lot of games, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I would have expected them to make a good game, but apparently not.
That was a good game. Charlotte Vampire Slayer. That was a good game.
I don't know. But that's exactly why I said what I said. Like,
Devil's
of
Gold.
course, a good coder doesn't necessarily know how to make a good game. But when they have a bunch of released games, I kind of expect them to know what they're doing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
It is what it is, guys. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, Lodestar Tower Idol RPG Survivor is it's an RPG game made by RPG Maker Game that's boasting to be a idle game, but apparently it doesn't follow the same uh formula of traditional idle games. So this game is truly an idle game. According to the developer, it is. But according to other players and the majority of the gaming community, it is not. It's not even a hybrid of a true idol. It's an RPG game with
Yeah,
random with
it's just all the characters just have the auto battle flag. That's what it feels like, just auto battle in the vanilla RPG Maker auto battle flag, and
yeah.
that's it. Like that doesn't make an idle game. That's not what makes idle games fun. It's not what how they work. Like it's idle, yeah, but that's not what makes it good. Like you don't have the little dopamine hits by getting constant upgrades and by getting ever bigger numbers and whatnot. It's like none of that is in this game.
I can answer that question for you, 1063. He said, why make an idle game though? Because I think this developer is trying to explore their options with whatever they can make with RPG Maker.
I
So
mean, what kind of question is that even? Why make anything? Why make turn-based game? Why make action game?
that's like
what
them
kind of
saying
question
why
is
you're
that?
making a cowboy isekai game.
Yeah, it's like why are you even getting up in the morning?
Exactly.
It's like what kind of question
It's
is that?
RPG Maker, my guy. You
It's,
could do whatever you want.
yeah, yeah. Some people like idle games. Like as I said, me personally, I do enjoy the occasional idle games. I had a time where I had like 3 idle games running on my PC at the same time.
Nah,
Just because it's fun clicking on upgrade buttons. What can I say?
I can't have fun doing that. I need to be.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing other things. Like I had like the 3 windows open on my second screen, and I was like watching a movie or working on my game or whatnot, or I was working like my job, right? And I just had the idle games running because why not? They don't take my attention. I can work my job and have the idle games running at the same time because they don't demand my attention.
Don't tell
Right?
your boss
I
that.
can just
They'll fire you.
I can just click the upgrade button whenever I finish a call, upgrade everything, and then the next call comes in, right? It's just a time waster. It's what you do for a couple of minutes between things.
Yeah.
And this game doesn't allow me to do that. Like as I said, like the idle part in this game is so short I can't even reach my fucking bathroom in that time.
Dang.
And I'm living in a 1-room apartment.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we said everything that we could say about this game. Like, there's not really anything else.
I gotta ask you a question though.
Nah.
Levetsa said, "Is it fun for D7 though?" I mean, it was okay. I thought.
I mean, D7 would never say no.
I thought it could have been better. I thought, I just felt like it was too random and too luck based, and not any, any type of proper preparation. Because
that's also not a thing in idle games. Like luck, it's not a factor.
Like the weapons you get, they're random. They could be worse than the ones that you do get. They could be better than the ones that you do get. But other than that, I mean, I had like 5 battlers and lost against 2 people because everybody was missing.
Yeah, the battle system was weird anyway. Like sometimes the enemies would like a whole boatload of attacks, like 2 people hitting you like 20 times. I don't fucking know what's happening.
Like me playing the previous developers' games, I know they can do better. Like, I don't see you guys probably purchasing any of the game because some of y'all are cheap, like a little baby chick. Like
Yep,
cheap,
I will never
cheap,
pay
cheap,
for an
cheap,
RPG
cheap,
Maker
cheap,
game.
cheap. But these games were given to me as keys by the developer.
So
So
you
I
didn't
was,
buy it yourself either.
yeah.
Cheap.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I did not even know about this developer till this developer hit me up. So
Doesn't matter. If you wanted to
they
support them,
they
you could have
love
refused the key and buy it anyway.
they love for me to play their game, so they just kept giving me keys. Me and Nerd Mansion. They love Nerd Mansion too.
Yeah, but you know, if you wanted to really support them, you could have just bought the game.
I can buy it, but at the same time, I don't have money like that, guys.
Look,
I am
even
a
Zephyr
guy.
does that.
I am a guy on the internet playing RPG Maker games. How much money do you think I got?
I mean, Zephyr does buy games.
Zephyr
I didn't give her a key.
Zephyr has a lot of money.
Yeah, but she's just a
And
girl on the internet.
and in all fairness, I bought your game too.
No, you didn't.
I did buy your game. Do I have to prove it?
I don't think you did.
I bought your game. I bought
Which
your
one?
game. Tiki's Escape. That's the only one that you can buy.
No, you could have bought like an early version of Isekai.
Nah, it ain't ready.
That was up for.
Yeah, it ain't
Look,
ready.
man.
That game was too jank.
Yeah, my bad. You actually did buy it.
I rather
The
play.
Steam review
I rather
shows
play. I rather play the game Genie, Red Genie, than buy Isekai right now.
You lying.
You know,
You had a lot of fun with Isekai. You fucking lying.
Man, I don't know, man. Honestly, when you want someone to
but,
play your
but
game,
you
should give them
did
a
buy
key. Yeah,
TVs.
yeah. You should. Even though I had it for free on itch, I bought it on Steam because I wanted the achievements. I wanted the one.
Oh yeah, that's why you did it. Right, yeah, because of that.
And to support you. Yeah,
man. That's how it's supposed to be.
You see how this German try to use this German science and philosophy on the American beast? Can't do that. Can't do it.
Hey, I admit it. I'm wrong though. Like I can admit that.
It's all good.
The Steam review said it was bought directly from Steam, so there's nothing I can say about that.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty though, you got to think about it. You know, we all support each other, and in reality, everybody's not gonna be able to buy everything. You know.
Yeah,
even some people like, you know, man, I don't have no money. One person told me they didn't have no money to pay me to play their game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just.
But you're buying.
I'm not gonna buy any of these games.
But they're buying all these plugins and stuff. Like, make it make sense.
Of course, I'm buying all these plugins, but I'll never buy an RPG Maker game. Like,
why not? I would.
Because they fucking suck, man. All of them fucking suck. There's one game I bought, and it's Soul Survivor. Like I could have gotten a Steam key, of course, because Moogle would give me one, but I refused because I wanted to give him a legit review on the game, right? Steam key reviews don't count on Steam, so I bought it because it's a really good game. But that's the only one.
Vanilla is saying is putting games on itch bad. I watched a video by someone called it trash, and they say something about it. I think Harlequin could explain this better.
It's not bad. The thing is, itch is free, right? You can upload your game for free, and that means there is no barrier of entry. So everybody and their mama put their shitty ass game on there because it's free.
Everybody and their mama.
Right, so that means there's a lot of shit on itch, like a lot of trash games that are gonna bury your game with them. So it's not inherently bad, but you know, there's a lot of shit on there. Like and many people, like normal guys, normal players, don't even know that itch exists. Like mostly the people that know of itch are developers, so you're probably not gonna get a lot of customers on there.
And plus, Steam helps separate those who are serious about their game, and it's better promotion
A little bit.
for your
A
game
little bit.
too.
Like there's still a whole bunch of bullshit on Steam too,
Yeah,
right? There's a lot of cash grabs and whatnot. So the $100 doesn't really help much. But the difference is every PC gamer
knows
knows
about
Steam
Steam. Yeah,
or has Steam.
yeah,
Like Steam is the gaming platform on PC.
yeah.
There's no comparable. Like Epic is shit in comparison to Steam.
Yeah,
Not even close.
Steam is huge.
So exactly. So the amount of reach you get with the Steam, even though it costs $100, is just so massively bigger than Itch that it's more worth paying the fee
You hear
than
Padre?
uploading it to Itch.
Padre
Steam
say
should be way higher. No, it shouldn't. I don't think it should.
$1,000 minimum. My goodness.
Nah. I mean, for one, Steam makes enough money, so they don't really need to do that. And I don't think it should be higher. Like, I get the idea, so the barrier is higher, right? So not every fucking cash grab makes it on Steam. I can see that, but on the other hand, you don't want to make it harder for the little guys that put effort into their games, like us. Like, you don't want to make it harder for them just so you can deter some cash grabbing idiots. Right? It's like
maybe they should tier it. Like have a fee for AAA.
Nah, fuck that shit.
No. Bigger studios pay a higher price.
Nah.
The little guy, like an indie developer, pays.
Yeah, it
maybe
sounds nice on paper. Like that's what Unity did at first too, and see how that ended up being.
I actually thought it was like the Android store. Like to submit a mobile game for Android, you just need to pay $25, and you can submit how many games you want.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the $100. Really, I don't know.
Nah, man.
Like
Not a lot of people got $100 though.
Yeah, it's a barrier of entrance. Of course, it deters. I would think most asset flips.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Like there's still a whole bunch of them. But on the other hand, the bad games get buried very quickly on Steam. Like if a game sucks and a game doesn't get its 10 reviews within a week, you're not gonna see that game ever again.
Unless you know
it's just how it works.
Yeah.
Exactly. Unless you look it up by name, you're not gonna see this game ever again on the Steam store.
Yeah.
So who am I? Why would I care if someone made a cash grab game? It's gonna be gone by the end of the week. Nobody's gonna see it ever again. Why should I care? Why would I vote for people like us to pay $1,000 to put their games on Steam just so some cash grabbing idiot can't put up theirs? What kind of logic is that?
Well, if your game is good enough, you should be expecting to make well over a few $100. Steam gives the money back, so it's only about initial investment.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. How many of us people have $1,000 laying around?
Raise your hand.
I don't. I fucking don't. Like I spent $2,000 on Origins over the span of 2 years.
1063
I
got
don't
it.
have $1,000 laying around to pay Steam at once. Like I gotta eat.
1063 got $1,000 in Monopoly money.
Yeah, exactly. And Monopoly money, maybe. Like shit, dude. You gotta spend to start. But yeah, but then none of us would be making any games. What's the point of that? What is the goal here? Why would you gatekeep making video games?
Then if you know that Steam costs money.
If Steam costs us $1,000, I wouldn't be making games.
You got Itch?
Yeah, but itch don't give you no reach. Nobody gonna buy your shit on itch. It's not worth. It's free, yeah, but nobody cares. Nobody knows of that place.
Yeah, and that's how I started off, looking
So
for free
what are you gonna
games.
do? You can start a Kickstarter. So everybody with no money is now going to Kickstarter, which is gonna inflate that place more than it already is. And it's not like Kickstarter is free either. So I don't know. Why would you? What's the point?
And
There's no benefit to making it cost $1,000. There's no benefit to it.
what he's saying is, I see what Padre is saying.
Yeah, I see the idea, but it doesn't work like that.
It add another barrier to
Look,
bad games.
it's like
Cause you can ask your mom and dad for $100. They'll probably give it to you. But you ask your
It's
mom
like
and dad
Netflix.
for $1,000, they're gonna be like, man, get out my face.
Look, man,
Unless
it's like that Netflix drama and everything. It's like that's why people pirate shit. Because you're making your service worse for the paying customer than it is pirating. Like if you pay for 4K Netflix, you gotta be on their app. Like you can't just go on your browser and watch 4K. They're gonna give you 720p. You cannot watch 4K on your PC. You gotta use the Netflix app. So when you make your paid service worse than the experience I can get by just downloading the pirated version of your movie, that's bad. If you raise the barrier of entry for Steam, people just not gonna make games anymore. Why? They're like, what's the benefit? What's the goal here? Raise the entry fee to 1K. All right, now you caught a whole bunch of asset flips that's not gonna be on Steam. Okay, but you also killed off like half of the people making video games. Like all of the small guys are no longer able to publish their games on Steam. And the bad games are gonna be gone within the week anyway. They're gonna be buried. So what's the point? What's the benefit?
so they'll be losing money. Steam will be.
I mean, Steam doesn't care, I would assume.
I'm pretty
Like
sure.
the $100 fees is not what makes Steam, right? That's peanuts. What they earn with that. Like they have other sources of income. Even if they raise that to a 1K, Steam doesn't care. They're big enough, right? But what's the benefit for Steam? Like they don't give a shit if you release an asset flip. Who cares? Why would Steam care about that? If the people rate it poorly, the game gonna get buried, and that's it. Zero cost.
Okay.
And Steam doesn't give you your money back either. That's not true. It's like they phrase it a little weirdly. They don't give you straight up money back. They do recuperate it somehow if you reach a certain level of income, but it's not like they're just gonna give it back. And even if they did, even if they say, alright, if your game makes 1K, you're gonna get your 1K back. That still puts most of us little guys 1K in the hole for no reason. So I don't know.
Okay,
It's still
he
pointless.
said you do get your $100 back after you pass.
Yeah, I don't know how they phrase it weirdly. They don't say they give it back. It's phrased a little weird, so I'm not sure. I'm not there yet.
That's only
but
10%.
if Moogle says it's like that, then I guess it is. It doesn't really matter.
So
if you get it back.
So if you're already making money on Steam, $100 ain't really jack. So, I'm pretty sure they get they cut. They get
Yeah, it's all good. Like the idea is okay, but what's the benefit? Like, I'm still waiting for that. What is the benefit of raising the Steam cost?
I think they keep the flood of bad games out the market.
Yeah, but who cares? You don't even see these games.
Yeah, you right. You right. And I be going on Twitter looking at other people that's in RPG Maker releasing their games. I don't even see their
You don't
games.
see these games. I don't know where this logic comes from. How good developers don't make money. How does that even happen? Like, Moogle clearly made enough money. Otherwise, how would he know they refund the $100? So Moogle definitely made enough money with Soul Survivor.
Facts.
And the RTP has a stigma because it's fucking shit. But I don't see a single RPG Maker game in my Steam store. I don't see no RTP asset flips unless I specifically look for RPG Maker games. And who does that?
People that like RPGs Maker.
Yeah,
games.
people that like RPG Maker games, but they are aware of the RTP. They know it's gonna be in there. So unless you're already playing RPG, the only problem I see is RPG Maker is the only engine on Steam with its own tag.
Actually,
and that's a problem.
Chris's game is doing really good on Steam.
Yeah, you get recommended lots of our endgames because you have them. And the problem is not the asset flips. The problem is that it is a tag. There is no Unity tag. There is no Unreal Engine tag. There is no Godot tag. It's only RPG Maker that has a tag on Steam. And that's why you get recommended RPG Maker games specifically, instead of just regular RPGs like every other engine. So whenever you look up RPG Maker, it's gonna give you all that crap.
And that's why I don't understand, like, how developers, especially commercial developers, they say their game is with RPG Maker. I can understand that, but why advertise that unless you have to advertise it?
Yeah, your game is as visible as you market it, of course, but only in the first week. If your game is shit, like let's say you're making an asset flip cash grab game, how well marketed is that gonna be? Like, let's say you're getting actually 10k wishlists with your asset flip for some reason. You fooled everybody. Right? Like you made Mango Mischief. You fooled everyone. Everyone thought it was a good game. Alright, then your game comes out and a week later it's mostly negative because everybody now knows it's an asset flip and then it's gonna get buried. If it's not gonna get buried, then it's not a bad game. Simple as that. If people like your game, they like your game. And if they don't, Steam is not gonna show it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? If Mango Mischief, like, I fucking hate the game, right? I think it's cheap and poorly made, but it has the reviews, it's marketed well, and if it's a positive review on Steam, the game gotta have something going for it. If it was an asset flip, like an actual just cash grab, it would be mostly negative reviews and it wouldn't show up on the Steam store page.
Yeah. Yeah, he marketed that game and whatever.
Yeah, he markets it. Sure, that helps.
Whatever
but
he
if the
did,
game was really shit.
Whatever he did, I don't know if he actually bought the game for people. Like
I don't know.
Ashley gave them money and tell them, hey, buy this and leave me a review. Some people actually do that. They'll
I
buy.
don't know how effective that
Some
is, though. How
people
much money could you possibly
some people
have?
actually do that. They'll buy their own records, like artists. They'll buy their own records, their own streams, just to increase those numbers, so it could get visibility. So it would
Yeah,
make sense.
you can do that, but that also means you already need to have a bunch of money.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't back my own Kickstarter because I don't have the money. If I did, I wouldn't run a Kickstarter.
I'm just saying, not you specifically, but if your money is long like that, you could pay people.
Yeah, but you gotta have a lot of money for that.
You could pay people. You could pay people to purchase your game, reimburse them, and leave a review.
Yeah, you could do that, but if you think about it,
cheating.
You gotta have a lot of money for that.
It's
like
cheating.
To sway like something like the Steam algorithm.
I mean,
you gotta have a lot of money.
If your game is $5 and you say, okay, you know, out of five, you know, buy my game for $5, I give you $10.
Yeah, that's $10.
So they're making.
So and you need, let's say, so it does. How many reviews does Mango Mischief have?
That'd be $150 out your pocket if my math is correct.
Let's see.
That's an easy investment.
Mango Mischief is currently 99 cents.
You see what I'm
so
saying?
It's a 99 cents game.
So you get
it has
10 people.
11 reviews. I don't know where the fuck does it say 4K, because Mango Mischief on Steam has 11 reviews. That's not 4K.
The Kickstarter.
Not ever.
The Kickstarter. He's
talking
about
the Kickstarter. May have. Who gives a shit? Let's see what my Kickstarter is.
A lot of people are gonna be hating on Mango Mischief. I see there's gonna be a lot of hate on that game. But the guy is a
Mango
genius.
Mischief is a good example of what marketing can do for you.
The guy is a genius.
At least for the Kickstarter. Like they didn't make any money on Steam. I don't believe it. They have 11 reviews. They did not make any kind of significant money.
They made. I see it right now. Mango Mischief Steam stat. They made $3,911 gross revenue.
That's bullshit. Like
600 units sold.
The stats for games that are that tiny are never accurate. Like they're wildly inaccurate. Always.
I don't know. This Mango Mischief we talking about.
It's like 10% of people make reviews. Like judging by that, they have 10 reviews. 11. So they have maybe 100 sold copies.
So
maybe.
Red Genie sold 90 units and made $1,000.
I don't know, man. I don't trust these numbers.
I'm looking at it.
I don't believe these numbers.
Red Genie made some money.
Where does it say that?
I'm looking at the VG Insights, the link that Padre
Yeah,
sent.
but these insights are never accurate.
Lord.
Especially for tiny games like that. I think they even have a disclaimer on there.
Okay.
Maybe. Like some of these sites even have disclaimers that it's inaccurate. And of course there is, because they don't really have much to go off. They're just estimates.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any data like you have with a AAA game, it's inaccurate. I don't believe Mango Mischief made any kind of money. I don't believe it.
Okay.
I don't know. I can judge only from my own game.
Let's see what they say about your game.
Oh yeah, let's see about that. Exactly. We can check. My game has 11 reviews, or 17 even, I think.
It said that you sold 630 copies.
Yeah, 630 copies. I wish.
And you made $1,216.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I made exactly 175 sold copies. And I made a total lifetime revenue of $326. That's how fucking inaccurate this shit is.
Okay, so we debunked that.
So I don't believe these numbers. Like, if you look at tiny fucking games like RPG Maker stuff, they are never accurate, not even close. Man, if I made this kind of money over Tiki's Escape, man, I would be pushing out games every 3 months, man.
Yeah.
Shit, 1K off of Tiki's Escape, man, I would be balling, man. I would be fucking balling. Nah, man, don't trust these numbers. It's not accurate.
Are you testers for the game or the developers? Pretty much, what we do, MKSI Dev, we just play RPG Maker games and talk about them on, every Wednesday at 2:00, on this podcast.
Yeah, we're not play testers, but we review.
But me personally, I do stream RPG Maker games. I do play the game and sometimes critique them or just play them for fun, just to play them. So if you want me to check,
but we're not play testers, so we're not gonna check your game for bugs and whatnot. We're not gonna do that.
Exactly. I mean, if I find bugs during my stream, then I'm like, hey, you got a bug here.
Yeah,
you got a typo.
Though.
You got a typo. You got a bug. But me sitting down playing the game, you have to pay me for that. You have to pay me to write a report and all that.
Yeah, $30 for 30 minutes.
The RPG Maker, you do got to spend money when you're making a commercial game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in it for the fun too, but I'm not gonna say no if I can make money off of it, right? So I'm kind of going in both lanes.
1063, I can't stand you, man. When I said, oh, he got a button, I was like, oh, no, it's my controller.
yeah. No more, I'm a controller guy.
I'm chastising this guy, you know what I mean? Like, man, you need to go back and do this over again. But my controller.
I saw that, man. I was giggling in my chair. I was like, look at this guy, man, making a fool out of himself. I mean, Padre, I wouldn't say no if I could make a living off of it. If I ever reach that point, I'm gonna absolutely fucking do it. But I still work my day job until then. I'm not foolish enough to just like go quit my day job and hope for the best. That's not gonna happen. But if for some reason, like let's say my Kickstarter really kicks off, and I'm actually making a bunch of sales with Origins, then I might consider it. Right? But other than that, I'm not gonna quit my job. I'm not stupid.
I mean, you never know. Sometimes you gotta go out. It depends on your ambition. You know what I mean? Like what I tell people about Kickstarters, it's okay to factor in what you need in order to make the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm not accounting for my time because that's where the hobby part comes in, right? I'm not at a point where I'm trying to make a living off of it.
Yeah.
I don't consider my time as needing to be paid. But as I said, if the opportunity should arise and I end up making a huge Kickstarter and I end up finishing Origins and making big sales on it, where I can comfortably say, all right, I got a whole bunch of fucking money now that's gonna carry me over for this amount of time, I might jump at it and try and make a living off of making video games.
Yeah, you have to make it now. You have to make it work because you got the actual funds. Now with the Mango Mischief thing, Mango Mischief Kickstarter mainly was for the art,
which barely has any.
It didn't have any of the custom art. Mainly in the
they
game,
they have a custom title screen.
The title screen,
where's
the
characters.
Rest of the 4K? The title screen, the characters. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's not 4K though. I've paid enough for art to know that that's not 4K, but it's not none of my business. I don't care. They made that money and that's good for them. If they made any amount of sales, that's also good for them. I fucking hate the game, and I think it's lazy and whatnot, but it's not my business. It's good for them that they made it, and I'm gonna try and make it even bigger, but that's it. It's none of my business if Mango Mischief is successful or not.
I mean, it makes sense for some people to have Kickstarter. It makes sense. Not everybody should have them, but it makes sense for people.
Not everybody needs it. I mean, I could finish Origins without it too. It just takes years longer.
Yeah.
Because I gotta spread the money so thin. If I just had all the money right now, I could just finish it much quicker. I could just pay everything at once and get it done.
Yeah.
Right? But I can't do that out of my own pocket. So that's why I'm running a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But if you just make it for a hobby and you're making your own art and you just want to make an amazing game, like Zephyr does, there's no need for a Kickstarter.
Yeah. So I do know one of the games could benefit from Kickstarter is Trials.
And I gotta step out for a minute. I'm gonna be right back.
You know, Trials Cascadia, that developer spent thousands of dollars on that game so far. So imagine he had a Kickstarter and he's paying Harlequin to make maps. Everybody knows that now. Everybody knows that. Even Brent posted on his Twitter page that Harlequin is helping him with the maps and he's paying them. So with a Kickstarter, you can go beyond that. But we don't know the financial situation that Brent had. He could be a millionaire, all we know about, and just got the money to splurge like that. But if you're just an ordinary guy like me that works a 9 to 5, that's living paycheck to paycheck, but my dream is to become a game developer. I want to make me a commercial game, but I only got $200 extra income at the end of the day, at the end of the month, to spend on that. That's speaking reality. After all your bills and stuff, you may only got $200, if $50, to buy assets or whatnot. If you really want your game to stand out. Because, like I tell people, you need custom characters. You need custom sprites. Sprites to call your own characters. You don't want your characters to look like the last RTP game that I played on stream. You want unique looking characters that you could call your own and nobody can copy you. And that's what Brent's done. That's what Harlequin did. Even though they have the same creator.
Yeah, it's a trade-off, really. It's like you can't be as like single developers with no money or barely any money. You can't have it all, right? You cannot have truly unique assets most of the time. Like, unless you're an artist and a musician and everything else, you can't be unique fully. It's not possible. Where are you gonna get all these assets? Where are you gonna get all the money to pay for that? So it's a trade-off.
Yeah, you're going to have to spend that money on the music and the characters, like right off bat.
Yeah, but it's a trade-off, right? We got Lowe's assets. They're not unique. They're fairly popular by now, but they look good. So it's a trade-off. You're getting good-looking assets.
They look good
for relatively cheap, but it's not unique.
They look good, and he can make you a custom one that nobody can emulate.
No, it's not really. Like, the style is still the same, right?
The style is the same, but the looks.
Yeah, I mean, Dunstan looks unique in quotations, right? But it's still the same style. Like if somebody is gonna play Cascadia and then go play my game, they're still gonna say it's the same thing
Yeah.
because the style is exactly the
Yeah.
same, even though the characters are technically unique.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But it's a trade-off. You can't get everything. Like if you wanted to make truly unique assets, you're gonna pay thousands and thousands of money for that.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Zephyr and just make everything yourself and work 20 years on your game.
See, Zephyr, she's good.
Yeah,
Like
but for how long has been her game in the works?
a long time.
That's also a trade-off. You can make everything yourself, but you're gonna work 50 years on a game and potentially never finish it because you burnt yourself out. It's always a trade-off. No matter what you do, you can pay some money and get good-looking assets that are not truly unique. You can make everything yourself, learn how to draw, and draw it all yourself in a unique style, but that's gonna cost you time. So you're truly unique, but it costs you a lot of time. It's always a trade-off. Right? Animation, same thing. You can get Dream Circle stuff. They look good, but it's not unique. Because it's a public asset. Everybody can buy it and everybody can use it. It's not unique. Right? It's a trade-off again. It's cheap, it looks good, and the trade-off is it's not unique.
And when you look at the when you go through the RTP and the mapping, then you got the premium maps like the FSM and the Winlu. I mean, I don't really see a lot of Winlu like that. I see majority.
Not yet.
I see majority RTP and FSM, but I still get that excitement, that joy when I do see the FSM. Because it looks way better than RTP, and you can make way better maps.
That's why I hate RTP. It's not. I don't dislike RTP because it's not unique. That's bullshit. Because FSM is not unique either. Winlu is not unique either. They are public assets. They're premium, but they're public. They're not unique to your game. Period. But they look better. I just think the RTP looks bad.
Starshift though looks
Starshift looks really bad in my opinion.
Starshift.
Whenever I see Starshift, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Starshift, like the spaceship in the lights and stuff. That looks pretty good, my guy.
The cutscenes are. I don't know, man. I don't like this MV 3D shit in the Ultra 7. It looks jank as fuck in my opinion, but to each their own. I don't like his art style at all. Like most of the time, I just see differently colored pixels, and none of it makes any sense to me. But that's just me. To me personally, the game looks not good. But that's just me.
Okay.
But yeah, it's as I said, it's always a trade-off. You can either trade time or money for stuff.
Man, this is a great discussion, man. This is a great discussion.
Yeah, it's the old age-old question. But yeah, it's like.
And Padre
if you
started
go commercial, I would not go RTP.
Oh yeah.
It looks shit.
Yeah, commercial. Stay away from RTP. Me personally, I would stay away from it. I would stay away from the chibi sprites. Don't use the chibi.
I say stay away, not for the reason people think. Like most people say, don't use RTP because it's not unique. That doesn't matter. You don't need to be unique. None of us are. Lul is not unique. Lul uses pre-made assets too. Everybody does. It's either FSM, Winlu, some kind of time fantasy and whatnot. None of us games look truly unique. That's not the point.
It's the gameplay though. That's what I care about.
I mean, you can make a good gameplay with R2P, but I still wouldn't use it. Just because it looks bad. The RTP doesn't look very nice. Like, it's okay assets, but they don't really have a tone to it. Like, Winlu has like these softer colors, right? And it looks more a relaxing vibe. FSM has like these really big contrast colors, like it's very colorful, very yellow and everything. It's a different vibe. RTP is just very generic, right? It's just a very generic fantasy thing. You can't really get a tone for it. Like, you can maybe use it for a lighthearted game, but trying to make like a dark themed game with RTP, that's gonna need a whole lot of editing. Right? If like a dark storyline, right? Where everybody dies and whatnot. Everything's tragic. A dark themed game. Can you imagine that in RTP graphics? With the bright colors and the cute trees and the cute chibi sprites? That doesn't really fit, does it? So you gotta do a lot of editing where you add people getting beheaded and whatnot, but it's still chibi sprites. I don't know. I can't imagine it. Like a dark themed game with RTP just doesn't make sense to me. It's not the vibe. So I would stay away from RTP just because it's so generically fantasy.
Yeah.
Not because it's not unique. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because none of us are. Like Zephyr's game is unique because she's doing most of the art herself. So that's truly unique. But that costs a lot of time. Or like that other guy's game, Panic Attack?
Panic Attack?
Yeah. The Panic Attack guy. He's on Twitter. You've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. He's doing all the art himself too, and he's had recently a really big burnout and everything too, because he was only drawing art. Like he couldn't get out of it anymore because art. You need art for everything. Zero Beat, yeah, Zero Beat is the name.
Zero Beat.
Yeah, you've seen it. 100% you've seen it. So now he's going. He thought about going first person again because it's less art and whatnot. Yeah, it takes forever to make it yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's truly unique. No other game has it.
Yeah, this looks good.
But what does it cost? A whole bunch of fucking time. It's always a trade-off, no matter what you do.
Like that one game we played with the wacky looking characters. What was that game called? We did the podcast on it.
Yeah, we did 2 or 3 of them.
The guy was an artist, but you didn't like the gameplay as much.
Yeah, most artists don't know how to make a fun game.
He did his own music. He did his own characters.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty decent.
It's possible too. Like, you can make it like... I think the best example I always can come up with is Undertale. Like, Undertale looks like shit, right? It's not anything fancy to look at. The sprites and the enemy designs and whatnot. It's all... I don't know. All like... My 8-year-old drew this kind of style, right? It's not really great. But it worked for the game. You can do that. It's fairly unique too. Like there's not been any Undertale style game I've heard before Undertale. So, and the gameplay was fun. Like I played it for a bit. Like I did. I think I did 2 playthroughs actually. Like I did a pacifist run and a regular run because I went in blind, so I just killed everything. And that's apparently not the good ending.
Drifty already said that Drifty already said he's not buying RPG Maker games. He said that out his mouth.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I said it 3 times in this stream alone.
Ain't it crazy though that you paying somebody that would never buy your game? That's crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't pay anybody to play my game really, unless they're like a really big channel with a lot of views. But Drifty is not big enough in my opinion. Like, he has a bunch of subscribers, yes, but his view count on the videos are really low, and that's not worth paying money for, I think.
but you're
Like I
paying
paid a big
Dystopia.
streamer.
Dystopia was a good
All
one.
right, Dystopia. Yeah, Dystopia was
Yes,
good.
you don't even know that's RPG Maker. I'm sorry, I had
no,
no
you know
clue.
it. Oh man, it's obvious.
It's a lot. It's a lot of. It's
It's
a lot
it's
of extra added. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's thrown together, but
yes.
unless you recognize some mechanics, yeah, you recognize. But
Yeah, as a
the look,
developer, we recognize it, of course,
the
but it
look,
looked really cool.
you can't categorize it
Yeah, it
in
looked really
RPG.
cool, and it
Can't
kind of
do
worked too. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it's not bad. Like,
Yeah,
we've played much worse.
Padre, you won't pay me $2 to stream to play your game?
No, man, I'm gonna
Man,
unsubscribe to your channel, man.
cheap, man. I'm trying to tell you, y'all some cheap. But y'all rather go out there and buy a double fat burger that will give you a heart attack and high cholesterol than and put you in the grave faster than giving me $2 so I could feed my family.
Man, I've spent enough subs on you. You owe me playthroughs for the rest of your fucking life already anyway.
You and Wind Rider. Oh my gosh. Wind Rider.
Yeah, Wind Rider is balling, man. This guy has too much money on his hand, man.
I need to move in with him. I need to get with him. You know what I'm saying? Like Wind Rider.
Man, I was sitting there 30 minutes like thinking about if I could really afford like 10 subs, and I was
said,
like, oh man.
Cow, he made my Christmas. He gave me a good Christmas, guys.
And this guy just following up with it, man.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Wind Rider has a bunch of money, man.
But Wind Rider's game, though, that's a pretty good game, too.
He should have spent all your sub money on his game to make his game better.
Yeah, man. But he said that he wanted to make the first part free because, he wanted to see how it performs if he was going to charge for part 2.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. I hate games in parts. I will never, ever spend a single dime on a game that comes out in parts.
Really?
Never.
But I'm doing it for Final Fantasy.
No, I would never.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. It's worth it.
But it's Rebirth. It's a full game, is it not? It's a full remake.
But I want all 3 parts, though. I want the whole story.
Why is it parts?
Because it's a big game.
Yeah, but why is it parts? Why don't they just sell the fucking game?
Part 1 was at least 60 hours.
I don't know. How is it a part?
Then the original game came with 3 discs. Then you can...
Yeah, but that's the game, right? The 3 discs is like finish, start to end is one game.
But the game is so big, they can't do it in one game.
What does that even mean? Like, there is no size limit on Steam. But what I mean is, like, if a game has a part 1 and it comes out in like episodes, and you gotta buy chapter 2 and then you gotta buy chapter 3, I'm not gonna pay that shit. I want to pay for a full game and not for part of it, and then pay again for the next part of it, and then pay again for the next part of it.
The
like
problem,
some fucking kind of cliffhanger.
The problem is they already had their cult following. So fans been waiting 20, 30 years.
Because people are fucking stupid, man.
Well, I mean...
As long as people pay for that kind of shitty practice, they're gonna keep doing it. Of course they're gonna. Why not?
Well...
Same with the fucking microtransaction in fucking Diablo 4. Why do they have fucking microtransaction in a full price AAA game?
Well, I mean...
And now they're gonna make a DLC that costs 70 fucking bucks.
Because they know they got people like you.
Exactly, because they got people like our fucking idiots who gonna pay for
like
that
Fortnite. Shit. Fortnite's a free-to-play game, but people buy them skins. And the skins don't give you
that's
nothing...
okay.
It don't give you nothing special, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
That ain't okay. I'm not spending $20 for no skin to look like Spider-Man. Are you?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Insane?
I'm doing that all the time, man. I have so many League of Legends skins, man.
Do they give you superpowers?
Okay. No, of course not. That would be unfair.
That'd be a waste of money.
No, it's for looks. It's It looks cool. That's what you're paying for. It just looks cool. Of
I'm
course they can.
I'm not
They can't
buying.
sell
I'm
you
not
power in a
buying the
PvP
game.
game.
I'm not buying the game to look cool.
That's fine. You don't have to. That's why it's free. The people who buy these skins are paying for you. You think Fortnite would be running if nobody bought no skins?
That's how they make their money. Microtransactions.
Exactly. That's how they make their money, and that's fine. Skins are okay because they're not unfair.
And
If
it's
a skin
genius.
in Fortnite gave you an advantage over a free player, people would stop playing
See,
because it's not fair.
See, I ain't debating that. That's genius. I'm not even gonna lie. That's genius. That's even most games are doing it. You know, next thing you know, Grand Theft is gonna end up doing it. I'm pretty.
And Grand Theft Auto has microtransactions since forever, man.
I haven't.
They selling you
Yeah,
dollars in game. That's bullshit. That's the biggest bullshit ever.
yeah. On
But
cars and
people
garages.
pay for that shit.
Yeah, they love it.
And
Yeah.
as long as people do it, they're gonna keep doing it.
Yep.
And it's only gonna get worse. Vote with your wallets. If you don't like that shit, don't pay for it.
Yeah, you right.
I'm not gonna buy Diablo 4 ever. I'm not gonna play that shit. Cause I don't like what they're doing. I may buy Path of Exile 2 if it's not gonna be free because that game looks fucking fantastic.
Half a SO, yeah.
But I'm not gonna buy Diablo 4 because that shit is hot garbage. And I'm not gonna pay full price for a DLC. $70 for a DLC? Are you nuts? That's like 1 week's worth of groceries.
$70.
Yeah, man, 2 people.
See, that's what Destiny is doing too. You got to spend all this money for the next DLC. It's like $40.
Yeah, definitely, that's okay too. Like a subscription-based game is fine as well. I mean, World of Warcraft is doing it, but don't have. I mean, Final Fantasy has microtransactions too, but it's for cosmetic shit like mounts and wedding stuff and shit like that. Nobody cares. That's fine. People who want it can buy it, but it's not gonna give them an advantage. That's what people hate. Pay to win. Nobody likes pay to win. And that's why skins are so popular, because it's not pay to win.
Yeah.
It's just cosmetics. And that's fine. I pay for cosmetics. I've been playing League of Legends for years. So by now, if I had to calculate how many AAA games I would have bought in that time, it's worth it, right? I've been playing this game for so long, spending $10 or $20 like once a year on it is not a lot of money. And I get to look cool while I play. But yeah, if you think you don't want to spend money on cosmetics in Fortnite and whatnot, you don't have to. That's completely fine as well. But it would be bad if they sold you a fucking overpowered gun in Fortnite for money. Pay $50 and you spawn with a fucking MG with 200 shots ammo. That would be garbage. Imagine how many players would quit the game. Because now everybody who's paying money for their gun is gonna automatically win over people that's not gonna pay money. Most of the time.
Yeah. Well, everybody got their own, whatever they want to do. It's their money.
Exactly.
They got their own whatever they want.
Yeah, I just see it as value. Like if you play a free game for like a lot of hours, I think it's fine if you spend some money on a skin just to like look cool.
Yeah.
And, support the game in a way.
Yeah.
If the game had ads every time you log in and had a bunch of fucking login bonuses and daily quests you gotta do and fucking gacha system, I would never pay for that. Because that's fucking garbage. That's just
Yeah,
designed to drain your
gotcha.
money every turn.
Yep.
I don't understand why people play that shit. But they eat it right up there. People spending millions of dollars on that
Yeah,
shit.
it's like gambling,
Yeah, it's
They
like
want to
gambling.
they rather
Like
take the chance
it's
to
it's
get
it's nuts. It's fucking nuts, man.
they want to get this
Genshin Impact,
5-star character.
yeah, it's crazy. Genshin Impact makes more money in a year than all of the Elden Ring sales combined.
Mm.
And that's crazy.
And Genshin Impact is a pretty good game, but
Yeah, I
I
tried
can't.
it. I thought it was cool until the fucking stamina system hit me. And
Yeah,
until I didn't get any more free whatever currency I need for the gacha, then it started to become shit because now I either spend money or I can't play the game because I can only do so many dungeons and that's like done in an hour. And what am I going to do now? I can't do anything anymore. I can't open any chests. I can't do any dungeons. I can't get any currency for gacha draws. What am I supposed to do?
yeah,
Can't play the game unless I spend money, and that's garbage.
yeah. That's why my attention span didn't last long in that game. But my friend, he loved that game.
Yeah, it was very hyped, so I tried it out. I already knew I'm gonna hate the gacha system, but I tried it out, and it was good for what it is. Like it's still
Yeah.
a gacha game. It's
Uh-huh.
still shit, but it was by then time standards a pretty good game. Like most of the gacha games that existed up until that point were pretty shit. Well, it's like 2D auto battlers and whatnot. And Genshin Impact was like a whole 3D world and like kind of like Breath of the Wild style exploration with
Yep.
climbing and whatnot. That was never there before in a gacha
Yep.
game.
Then you got your elemental warriors and
Yeah,
that was
it
pretty
was
cool.
new. It was new shit, so it was hyped. But
Yep.
as soon as the paywall dropped in, I stopped playing because
Oh yeah.
gonna get money from me for a chance to get anything. I'm fine with paying for stuff. Like if I could just pay to get a character I like, I'd be fine with that because, like, end of the day, Genshin Impact is a single player game, right? I'm not gaining advantage over anybody if I bought a character. That's fine. But gacha? Fuck that shit, man. $20 for a
Gotcha.
0.000 fucking percent chance of getting a character? Hell no.
He said, "Gotcha."
Is that not how you say it?
uh,
Man, guy trying to diss my dialect here too, and fucking racist there.
uh, good discussion, guys. But
Yeah,
you
D7
know,
gotta go, man. The dog and the kids, you know how it is. He ain't got no
all good
time.
things gotta come to an end, guys. All good things gotta come to an end. But Lodestar RPGs, Lodestar Tower Idol RPG Survivor is a
Yeah, man, and
game.
add some gotcha to that game. Maybe that will help.
Yeah, and if you want to try the game for yourself, you could get the download link in the description on the YouTube side. So definitely give it a try. And if we're crazy about what we're talking about the game, then or you disagree with what Harlequin thinks about the game, then
And you can
definitely
screw right off. I don't
let
care.
them know. But as we know this game's going to be a commercial game, but I don't know how much it's going to be. But according to the other projects, I see $3 here, $4 here, $5 here. I think the developer may feel like this is like one of the higher tier games that they probably have created. It may make this $5, $8, could be $10. I don't know, but something for fun that we always do at the end of the podcast. We will put a price on the game. How much will we pay for the game if it was, how much do we think the game is worth and how much do we think we, will pay for the game? So I'm going to start with myself. I probably would pay 99 cents for this game.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
I never understood your logic in that.
99
Like,
cents? You want to pay 99 cents for this?
No, man, I want my time back, man.
Lord.
Why would you pay? I never understood, man. Like, you pay for most games. Like, you say at least 99 cents for almost any game.
I mean,
And I never understood. Like, you didn't really have any fun. So what are you paying for? Why would you pay money for a game that you did not enjoy? I don't understand.
Oh. How much will you pay for this game?
Nothing. It's bad. It was super boring and not fun in any way.
Really?
It didn't deliver on anything that's in the title.
It had good.
It had nothing good.
It had good. It had good.
What?
Like the treasure hunting and the monster,
the boring treasure hunting
monster.
RTP
The
map.
only thing I didn't really like was it was too random. Like the fights were too random.
I didn't like anything. I didn't like the RTP
But other than
maps.
that, it was
like the
interactive. It was interactive. You did have some choices, like could affect your rewards. So replayability was there.
What kind of replayability? What kind of replayability?
Like certain scenario, like certain monsters you run in front of, you have the option to fight them or just walk away from them. Like there's different choices you can make.
Nah, it's not. If you decided to not cut up the baby monster, the NPC gonna do it anyway.
Ah, okay.
If you decide to approach the woman monster, they're still gonna save you. That's where you get the second character. You can approach, and the second character is gonna come in and save you. And if you don't approach, the second character is gonna come in and kill the monster anyway. Your choices literally do not matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what you pick. The combat is uninteresting. It doesn't matter. There's no replayability there. The gear doesn't matter. There's no customization there. The monsters you summon don't matter. Just summon anything doesn't matter. So what's the replayability here? What's the interesting part? The idle part is boring. The UI is bad.
Oh my god.
The presentation is pretty fucking bad. Like on one hand you got these AI sprites in the battle, and on the other hand you got the fucking RTP sprites on the map. Like it's inconsistent. Then you got the default Mock Hunter fucking battle log graphic in there for some reason with the skill names. Nah. Give me my money back.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know why you would pay for this. Like, I don't know. Like, you never say a really high amount of money for any game, but you also never really say zero. Like, you're always gonna pay at least $1 for some reason, and I don't understand why.
You gotta look at the potential of the game.
But potential isn't worth anything. It's like ideas. Everybody has it. Everybody has ideas. Everybody has some kind of potential. Potential is worthless unless it's realized.
Okay.
Like, you're paying for what this game could be, potentially, if they changed it 180 degrees, which is essentially a new game. So I don't understand. Like, I'm just curious as to what the reasoning behind that is.
And I told you the reason.
Yeah, it's weird to me. It makes no sense. But you do you, I do me, and I say zero. Give me.
You
my
say
time
zero
back.
for a lot. All the games we play, you say
because they're all bad. What can I say? What can I paid for Soul Survivor full price because that game's fucking worth it.
Soul Survivor is a good game.
Yeah, that's a good game. And what did I do? I paid for it.
Yeah.
This game is not. Why would I pay for this shit? Why would I pay for any of these fucking boring games? Makes no sense to me.
Well, Heroic Zephyr said we're in shambles, so I
Yeah.
guess she wanted to pay $20 for this game.
It's like, I mean, I just wanted to see what it is. Like, if you're saying potential, it's kind of odd reasoning because
It's
what is
awesome
potential?
game, man. It's an awesome game.
No, it's not.
Go ahead,
It's not.
All right, so next week podcast, I guess one of us gonna have to pick a game.
No, it's your turn. You said you wanted to hit up some
Oh
developer.
yeah. It's my turn. Yeah. It is my turn.
Yeah, you said you wanted the turn,
Not
so you can have the
sure.
turn.
Not sure what game I'm going to pick or who I'm going to get.
I mean, you said on your stream you had a game and you're gonna ask the
Yeah.
developer for keys.
Yeah. I gotta ask the developer will he give us some keys, but I have to pick a game just in case they say no.
Yeah, I wonder if we're ever gonna find like a really good game.
We found pretty good games.
No, I don't give a shit about pretty good games.
Lul,
Like a really good,
we got
like,
Lul.
Nah, man, I thought Lou was pretty terrible.
Padres game.
Yeah, man, it's okay. Like, I'm chatting with the guy privately, so I know a little bit more about the idea of the game than what's actually in the demo right now. But I didn't think the demo was very good. Like, it was pretty standard stuff, aside from the writing, which is like a more dividing thing, if anything.
Okay, launch. I mean, that's honest.
Of course, I'm honest with the guy. But like, if I like, imagine if we just randomly found like a Soul Survivor thing or like a Cascadia game, like out in the wild just by chance, like a really polished game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of all these knock-knocks and horrible UI games and whatnot.
Yeah.
Wonder if that ever happens.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah, probably not.
So I will be looking for a game. I will be hitting up that developer and see, would they like to donate keys? I don't see why wouldn't they want to, but it's worth a shot. So
yeah, I mean, not everybody is like Red Genie and says like, I can't give so many free keys away. I'm not gonna lose money on my RTP game.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, that guy's reasoning was so bafflingly horrible. Ugh. And I still have Tiki keys lying around.
I bet. But alright, guys. Any closing words you have to say, Harlequin, before we dip?
Not really. I hope you're not gonna pick the next Knock Knock game because I want to play something decent for a change.
I'm trying to pick the game, my guy. I'm trying to, man. It's tough out there. We're running out of games, to be honest. Running out of games, man. Even looking on this. I mean, like, I'll find something.
I mean, aren't you on Monkey King's Discord too?
Oh yeah, let me look.
Pretty sure you're there. They have two channels, like latest itch and latest Steam things. They posting all the new RPG Maker games there.
Yeah, let me.
We're not running out of games anytime soon.
Yeah, let me do something like that. So, all right, guys. Thank you once again for just tuning in and hanging out with us. Great discussions. But I got a life outside the RPG Maker RTP podcast as well.
Oh no, you're lying.
Appreciate it, guys. We will meet again at 2 p.m. next week, where we will bring the next title. Those who are looking at the channel, new viewers or potential viewers or current viewers, let your friends know about us, considering liking the video and subscribing to the channel and following us on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, Twitch. Twitter, yeah, we're on Twitter as well. Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
You ain't even posting on Twitter, are you? I've not seen a post in ever.
I can't log in right now. I forgot the password.
Why can't you log in, man? What you doing, dude?
I forgot the password, but just follow anyways. Yeah. We are out, guys. We are out. Even though Harlequin is going to get me a hate mail again, but it's all good.
Man, I couldn't even spew that kind of hate if I wanted to. Like that last email you shared, holy shit, man.
Yeah. I might share. I might post it or something.
Man, how can someone be so unhinged?
Yeah, crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy. All right, guys. Peace out.
See ya, guys.
See you next week.